This is Rotten Glory. I'm your host, Ty Gorton. Cheers. Yeah. So today, need to talk about YouTube and COPPA. If you're not clear on what that is, this video probably isn't for you. This is for people that are worried about it. If you want to know more about it, there's a gazillion videos that will tell you all the ins and outs of it and what people are afraid about. This video, I want to kind of lay down an alternate take on it that I hope will alleviate people's fears and panic about this, because people are literally freaking out.
I'm innocent!
So, what is this all about? This is what I think the core of what COPPA wants to achieve. It's about hearts and minds. Now, ever since governments, monarchies, any kind of ruling body have existed throughout history, they all have one thing in common, and that is they understand that to maintain control and order, you need to have control of the hearts and minds. And the best way to achieve that is you start at an early age. You have a certain belief system, certain perceptions of reality, and ideas that you want your people to hold close. You want them to be deeply rooted. And the absolute best way to do that is to start young. And the messaging has to be consistent and universal. And if you can achieve that, then more than likely, those ideas and belief structures, when they're that deeply rooted from a young age, a person is going to hold those probably their entire lives. Now, this has become, in the internet age, with so much access to so much media and so much information, this has become more and more difficult. So when you're talking about YouTube, and you have young people who are opting to engage YouTube more and more, thousands upon thousands of hours, right? And there's all these alternate ideas, so much information about the world, about governments, about reality itself. And you have kids going down these rabbit holes. Well, that can start to create some problems, because you're going to have young people that start questioning the institutions, that start questioning the message. You know, some of these universal concepts and ideas, they might start to raise their hand and go, well, what about this? Just to give you a quick example, you know, let's say you got 9-year-old Billy, right? And he's in class, and that day the topic is the Apollo moon landing. And the teacher is up there teaching the kids about, how the first men landed on the moon. And little 9-year-old Billy's like, hey, teacher, weren't the moon landings a hoax? And he proceeds to give a laundry list of reasons why this lunar module made out of construction paper and tinfoil never landed on the moon. This is a real problem. This is a conflict of interest for the education system, and this is something the government doesn't want happening. And I think the proliferation of YouTube, it's gotten so big, and people are engaging it on such a level at a younger and younger age, I think it's actually started to become a problem. So when you're talking about COPPA and the FTC and what they want to achieve with this, in my mind, it is about channels setting their content to adult. That's the victory, right? That is the end game. That's the goal. Because if you're a parent and you set up your kid's YouTube account and you have it, restricted to kids content only, there goes 99% of the content on YouTube, because every channel, 99 at least percent of the channels are going to set their channel to adult, and all of their videos will be adult, because with this new regulation, if you set your content to kids, you lose all engagement. You're losing your ad revenue. You can't have comments. There's no interaction with your community. And that's YouTube death. Every person on YouTube knows this. So every person who's engaged in YouTube that needs to engage their audience, they're going to set their channel to adult. That's in game. That's victory. That's match set point. That's it. They're not going to come after your channel. The 42,000 some odd dollar fine, that's just pure put the fear of God into people, because without that, more than half the people are just going to ignore it. They're not going to care. You have to create the fear. You have to light the fire under people's asses to get them to do it. So everybody's just in a panic, putting their channels to adult, which is good. That's fine. They're achieving the goal. But that is the goal. It's the end game. These fears about, well, what if some of my content is perceived as being for children even though it isn't? That's not the goal here. That's not going to be a problem. I don't see that. I just don't see it. They just want to dramatically limit the access to alternative ideas for young people, because they want those hearts and minds. They want the messaging to remain consistent. They want them to be in the classroom hearing the same message as they hear Saturday morning cartoons, and they don't want young people questioning the institutions and the established ideas about anything. And that's fine. What 10-year-old is really ready to face that, how much deception might be happening in the world around them? That's up to the parents. If you're a parent and you feel like there's a lot of deception in the world and you want to engage your children about that and prepare them for that, that's up to you. That's your prerogative. But for children to just be allowed to go down YouTube rabbit holes with conspiracies and all these ideas that will conflict what they're being told in the classroom or all around them, that could be a problem. And it's up to the parent to engage their children on that level. So that's what I think this is about. I don't think people need to panic about it. If you like the video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe. Share the video. If you know anyone that is really worried about this, I honestly think this can help put some minds at ease. Thank you very much.